Thanks for joining Dust and Bubbles on today's adventure to Northwest Mogfest. Northwest Mogfest is an annual family reunion for Unimog owners, a chance to meet old friends and make new ones, all while enjoying these vehicles in the Oregon sunshine. Although it started as a Unimog event, Northwest Mogfest has grown to vehicles of European ancestry to include Pinzgauers, Volvo C303s, Haflingers, Land Rovers, Mercedes G Wagons, and VW bugs and buses. Jim and Emilie Molloy opened up their almost 100-acre Waldersee farm to host this event. The event started in 2000 with about 9 trucks and 30 people. Since then, the event has grown, and in 2003, it became the largest gathering of Unimogs in the Western Hemisphere. Today, there are about 400 to 500 people attending, and I estimated over 100 vehicles. It's not a Jeep, it's not a Unimog, and no, it's not something you'd see on your average suburban driveway. This is the Volvo C303, the Swedish off-road tank built to conquer the harshest terrains on Earth. Born in the late 1960s, the C303 was developed by Volvo for the Swedish military. Production ran from 1974 to 1984, and around 8,700 of these beasts rolled out of the factory, most heading straight into service with the armed forces. But this wasn't your average troop carrier. The C303 was engineered with one mission in mind: to go where nothing else could. What sets it apart? Portal axles, like those on a Unimog, give it massive ground clearance, locking front and rear differentials, a 3-liter inline 6 engine under the hood, and a top speed of about, 60 miles per hour. But speed wasn't the point. This thing was built for brutality, not luxury. In 1983, Volvo entered the C303 in the grueling Paris-Dakar Rally and won in its class, nearly stock. Think about that, a military transport vehicle crossing thousands of miles of African desert terrain and finishing ahead of purpose-built race trucks. Over the years, it's proved its versatility. It served as ambulances, mobile command units, utility rigs, and even saw action in jungles, deserts, snow, and cities alike. Countries from Angola to Malaysia adopted it for its reliability and rugged design. Today, the Volvo C303 has found new life with off-roaders and overlanders who want something rare, capable, and dripping with character. Its military roots make it durable, its minimalist design makes it easy to repair, and it looks, let's just say, this thing turns heads. The Volvo C03 isn't just a vehicle. It's a symbol of Scandinavian engineering, built for adventure, hardened by service, and ready for the wild. So next time someone says Volvo makes safe cars, show them this. In one corner, hailing from the Black Forests of Germany, built like a vault and priced like a small condo, the Mercedes-Benz G-Class, and in the other, born in a post-war Britain and raised in mud, the Land Rover Defender. 2 legends, 1 crowned. The Land Rover was born in 1948, a proper working-class hero built for farmers, explorers, and, the Queen. It wasn't about luxury, it was about surviving anything, from the Sahara to the suburbs. The G-Class rolled out in 1979. Originally made for the military, it said, sure, I'll climb that cliff, but I'll do it with leather seats and walnut trim. Fast forward to today. The Defender's been reborn, sleek, techy, and still ready to get dirty. It's like James Bond in hiking boots. The G-Wagon, it's got a glow up too. Twin-turbo V8 AMG badges and more chrome than a rapper's grill. It's a luxury tank that says, yes, I could climb that mountain, but is there valet parking up there? Off-road, both are beasts. The Defender has all-terrain wizardry and more drive modes than a PlayStation. The G-Wagon, 3 locking diffs and suspension setup that laughs at gravity. But let's be honest, these days, you're more likely to see them in Beverly Hills than the Himalayas. Except for Mogfest. Mogfest is one of those rare places where you can see these luxury street queens actually being put through their paces. Between the deep articulation traps, steep hill climbs, crazy off-camber lines, and deep mud pits, Mogfest is a place where G-Ride and Land Rover owners can actually use their vehicles as intended. It was refreshing to see these rigs out tackling the challenges in the pit, and amazing to see how well they performed. A few of them exceeded their clearance or deep fording limits, but at Mogfest there is always somebody willing to get you unstuck. I appreciated the chance to get to see these rigs in action and was impressed with their performance.
Following like a pig and frog.
Meet the Haflinger, Austria's pocket-sized off-road warrior. Built in the 50s, it's got the charm of a toy car and the grit of a mountain goat. Lightweight? Check. Four-wheel drive? Absolutely. Ground clearance like a goat on stilts? Oh yeah. It can carry half a ton, climb 45-degree slopes, and squeeze through trails most SUVs wouldn't dare to dream of. The Haflinger, proof that size doesn't matter, but traction does. It may look like your uncle's old camper, but don't be fooled. This is the Volkswagen Syncro, the van that said, "What if your house could climb a mountain?" Born in the 1980s and built by Steyr Puch, yes, the same folks behind the Haflinger and the original G Wagon, the Syncro was the Volkswagen's answer to a question that no one asked. Can a van go off-road? And the answer, a loud, flat four-powered, go anywhere, yes. With a vicious coupling of all-wheel drive systems, locking rear diff, and enough ground clearance to embarrass your average crossover, the Syncro didn't just drive into the wild, it moved in and set up camp. Snow, mud, rivers, no problem. Just bring snacks and maybe an extra CV joint. But off-road grit was only half the story. The Syncro was your mobile cabin, surf shack, and apocalypse bunker, complete with sink, stove, and a kind of wood paneling that screams 80s summer road trip. It was slow, it was loud, and it had the aerodynamic profile of a filing cabinet, but the Syncro had soul. It was a rolling reminder that adventure didn't need to be fast, just fearless. And yeah, it broke. A lot. But if you owned a Syncro, you didn't just love driving it. You loved fixing it. It was a lifestyle, equal parts freedom and frustration. We're sitting on the bumper back here, and on the bumper up there. The wheels are just free float. In the middle of this thick, soupy mud pit, this driver is deep in the muck, barefoot, and completely coated in mud. He fumbles with the shackle, trying to find an attachment point which will not damage his Syncro. Once he hooks up, he turns and begins slipping and sliding his way back to the front. He is able to make it to the front of the vehicle and now has to figure out how to get inside. With a mixture of determination and luck, he takes a graceful leap in the window and wiggles his way into the driver's seat. The winch line tightens and the Syncro tires spinning. He is pulled out of the mud pit. In addition to the VW vans, there were a few appearances from the Baja Bugs, ripping through the mud and launching off the tops of steep inclines. The distinct sounds of their buzzing engines, screaming with toothy smiles on the drivers as they played in the pit. I also spotted this VW MAN 8 Series truck, which was first introduced in 1979 and was a collaboration between VW and MAN. Big shout out to @Rusty and Pop-Tart for letting me jump in the passenger seat of their one-of-a-kind pink smart car. It's not every day you see a tiny smart car lifted with beefy tires and custom suspension, ready to tackle some serious terrain. As we hit the pit, I was blown away by how capable this little beast was. Watching it crawl over the obstacles, dive through the puddles, and just power through everything it hit was honestly like seeing a giant in a tiny package. Huge thanks again for the ride. Your car is an absolute monster off-road, and I'm lucky I got to experience it firsthand. Can't wait to see where you guys take it next. Unimogs are one of the most iconic and versatile vehicles in the world of off-roading. Known for their ruggedness, durability, and ability to tackle some of the toughest terrain on the planet. But their story goes way beyond just being powerful machines. Unimogs have been around since the 1940s, and over the decades, they've evolved from simple farming vehicles to some of the most reliable and adaptable off-road vehicles ever built. The history of the Unimog starts with the Mercedes-Benz brand, which first developed the vehicle in the aftermath of World War II. The name Unimog comes from the German word Universal Motor Gerät, which roughly translates to Universal Motor Vehicle. And that's exactly what it was designed to be, a multi-purpose, all-terrain vehicle. The original purpose was to serve as an agricultural vehicle capable of plowing fields, hauling heavy loads, and doing work in environments that regular vehicles couldn't reach. But as its reputation grew, the Unimog's potential became clear for a wide range of uses, from military transport to emergency response and even firefighting. Unimogs are recognized for their unique design, particularly their impressive off-road capabilities. These vehicles are known for their portal axles, a special kind of axle system that helps increase ground clearance and allows them to traverse difficult terrain like deep snow, mud, and even rocky landscapes. The axles work by raising the entire wheel hub above the axle itself, which means that the vehicle's frame can sit lower to the ground while still offering exceptional ground clearance. A key feature of the Unimog is its ability to carry heavy loads, often carrying payloads that are far beyond what you'd expect from a truck of its size. Unimogs have been used as military trucks, snow plows, off-road vehicles for expeditions, and even specialized fire trucks. With a wide range of power outputs depending on the model, many Unimogs come equipped with engines that range from around 100 horsepower to over 400 horsepower in the more modern versions, giving them the ability to move large loads or tackle steep inclines with ease. One of the most impressive options on some of the Unimog models is the crawler box, a feature that significantly boosts the vehicle's crawling capabilities. The crawler box acts as an additional gear reduction system, offering ultra-low crawl ratios that make it possible for the Unimog to tackle the most extreme off-road conditions with ease. These crawl ratios can be as low as 2,000 to 1 in some cases, allowing the vehicle to inch forward at a snail's pace while maintaining maximum torque. This gives the Unimog unparalleled precision when traversing obstacles like large rocks, deep mud, or steep inclines. With the crawler box, the Unimog becomes a true beast in situations where other vehicles would stall or struggle. One of the rigs had this clean, custom cantilever suspension on the front, which worked flawlessly. It was really a treat to get to watch these oversized vehicles working their way through the pit. Whether it's crawling over rocks, through water, or up near vertical slope, the Unimog can do it all, 1 inch at a time. One of the greatest things about Mogfest is the family atmosphere. I watch kids of all ages laughing, singing, dancing, and well, just being kids. These kids are cementing memories that will last a lifetime and stories that will be retold for years to come. It was nice to have the local fire department swing by to say hello. If you're going to earn a nickname by getting a firefighting rig stuck, Mogfest is probably the place to do it. One of the participants brought a 6DM down for the rescue. The Sauer 6DM has a gross vehicle weight rating of 16 tons. It is powered by a 6-liter turbocharged diesel engine and has all-time four-wheel drive. The winch on the 6DM is a Rotzler hydraulic winch, which can be routed to the front or rear of the vehicle and is powered by a PTO off the engine. The initial plan to use a tow strap and bridle it through the frame proved problematic. Once the line was secured directly to the frame, the Sauer 6DM made quick work getting these heroes back into action. I'm sure the driver has a new nickname, and this story will be regaled for years to come. We had so much fun at the events, including the open 4x4 pit, raffle, barbecue, Sasquatch searching, jewelry making, axe throwing, and yoga, to name a few, made this year's Mogfest a year to remember. I would again like to thank Jim and Emilie Molloy, along with all the volunteers who assist them, for hosting such an incredible gathering.